understand? So it has to be things that you understand, because it's about a vibrational, energetic thing. So it ain't honoring you and what I think is right.
I don't have rights to this recording.
That energy and that line with your ancestors, that first line before you get to angels, before you get to certain other entities and energies that I won't get into here. Your first line of defense is your ancestors, because they're closest also in the unseen to earth. And so they're the ones that also negotiate with sometimes the other energies. So this is the first line of defense that you want to honor. So that's why I say, if it is holiday or something, you put that plate there for them. You understand?
And she's talking about right now building yourself an altar
with the intention of
in your home.
That's going to concentrate that power in that network, like that modem, to cause you to tap into what? The communication system, this other energy power that you otherwise wouldn't. So that's what I want folks to keep in mind. That's just some of the basics that you can start with. But I just gave you other things, whether it's music, whether it's this, whether it's that, and then make particular requests known. Let them know what's on your mind, what's on your heart. A lot of reverence, a lot of gratitude, a lot of thanksgiving, but also request, because you want to take your family, your lineage to the next level, which is why you come from a bloodline, that cord, you understand? And so there's some information that I break down too, which I got revelation-wise in terms of the umbilical cord. And after I was doing a lot of research on it, and even the pronunciation of the word, we say umbilical cord. That's what they tell us. But when I started looking at a lot of that word and where it came from, and all of the different branches that took me down this rabbit hole, is it the umbilical cord or the umbilical cord? There's some information and messages that was coded down. So they changed, you understand, in my opinion, the pronunciation of umbilical cord to umbilical cord from unbiblical, because biblical dealing with the text, not necessarily the Bible that we know today, but Bible, where the word comes from, that's having to do with an anthology of words and stories. So there's messages that come there in that connection with the umbilical cord, that I want us to see our connection with our ancestors. And so in the same way, you have a cord for a telephone. We used to. Of course, now we're wireless. But our ancestors' altar and the remembrance of them, the connection of them, keeps us connected to this other energy, that keeps us tapped in to this other unseen network that gives us information, transmission, and quite frankly, powered energy that we otherwise wouldn't. That's just some of the very, very basics.
No, that was thorough. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your energy, your vulnerability, your space, your time.
Thank you.
I think that a lot of people gravitate towards you because you represent a level of strength and courage, right? And this world, you go along and get along, you know what I mean? Or you become the disruptor. And in that disruption, you know, you may not get along with everybody else, but you be best friends with God, you know? And the question becomes is, are you and God good?
Come on.
Right? You can make enemies of family.
Yeah.
You can make enemies of friends, enemies of the world. But it always comes down, are you and God good?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I believe that, you know, people who are at peace is because they are good with God. Right? And you seem to be good with God to me.
Thank you so much.
I met you just yesterday for the first time in
person. Yes.
You have a very solid and strong energy.
Yes. Thank you.
And I honor that and I appreciate that. And I want you to continue to honor that energy, as I know you will.
Thank you so much. May I say one thing quickly? Quickly, and I will do this quickly. What I want folks to understand when I'm talking about the supernatural and I'm talking about the spiritual, we're in a very tumultuous time now, yes. There's a new world order. There's a changing of the guards. There's a changing of the guards.
Listen closely.
That means there's a natural governmental shift and there's a spiritual shift. When I'm talking about my supernatural experience, when I tapped into and attended this other council, and that same council came down, I want folks to know that what's happening on earth is being played out in government and in politics, which is why I deal with politics, is because that counter is happening in the unseen. There's a government over your head. And what the agenda of this unseen government and council is affecting and influencing the affairs on earth. But we can tap into that government to know stuff we don't know, to use those powers and energies and high-level wisdom, classified knowledge and information that supersedes all others, to bring to earth, to remake the earth, just like Joseph, the story of Joseph, took from the prison to the palace. And they called on Joseph to interpret the king's dreams because none of his high-level government officials could figure out the dream. So they had to call on the felon. They had to go to the prison to get their dreams interpreted. So I want folks to understand in this season that our magic, our spiritual power, in other words, is what's going to give us the edge in this new world. We're the new leaders. And it's because of our spiritual acuity and fitness that's going to cause us to lead the new world. That's what I want to emphasize. And that's what I bring to the table with both of those particular things. Yeah. That's all I wanted to say.
No, thank you. Well, there you have it, family. This has been a high-level conversations with Vicky Dillard. Make sure y'all tap into the sister, to her platform. Yeah. High-level conversations will continue to be a platform where we will spark your thinking. We will challenge your feelings, may challenge your beliefs. It will force you to have conversations with yourself, your family, your spirit, your soul. And if the content that you're watching doesn't do that, then what is it doing for you? Right? We wanted to grow you, to elevate you, not to put content in front of you to distract you so that you're not conscious of what's going on in the world. And that's what this conversation was just about. I promise you. Go find your mother, kiss her spiritually if she's no longer here, and kiss her physically on the cheek if she is. Peace.